Hi, this is Lori from the Paintgirlee channel. Happy New Year! I thought I'd pop on early, just a few minutes early. It looked like Jamie had finished up, so some of you all might be getting a little comfort break and getting a beverage. And so I thought I'd take a few minutes here to greet you all. So I see that we've got Roberta and a me. Carol is there. Hi, everybody. Shelley, how you doing, Shelley? Hi, Martha. I'm not sure I've met you before, but it's nice to see you. Thanks for coming. Did y'all take the bus? Did anybody take a tram? Amira, hello. Nice to meet you. Come in, come in. Happy New Year, Janet. Well, I have a little bit of, nervous jitters. So far, so good. Streams have been great, huh? Thank you to the ladies that have already been on. There's my Gail. Hi, Gail. Kathy, how you feeling, Kathy? Hi, Kim. I don't know if I know you, Kim, but thank you so much for being here. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to everybody who's come in. Of course, I was singing that little chorus. Hey, there's Devon. What do you do when New Year's? I always thought that was like the beginning of the song. That's the end of the song. It's the end of the verse. There's Artie Dar and Diane. Hello. Hi, Tommy Joe. Nice to see you. It's my pleasure to host. Everybody was so gracious to me and got back to me and answered. There's Stephanie G. Stephanie's up after me. Hey, Christopher, nice to see you. I've seen you in other places. Nice for you to be here and join us. Thank you so very much. We've got Roseanne in the house, and there's Sherry. Woo! I'm trying to keep up with everybody and greet everybody to come in. I just thought when I was thinking about today's stream, and I figured there'd be a lot of folks interested and that would be in. And most of us, I think, will have a larger number than we might normally have in any given stream. Hi, Dixie. And so I wanted to take advantage of maybe some new folks who might not really be artisans per se. There's Kimberly. Hi, Kimberly. And there is Dar. Cheshire Cat, hi. And some of the gals were given a little bit of a briefing of who they are. And I found art, I guess years ago, coloring was my first love. And then I really didn't feel like I had any talent, but desired to do art. My grandfather could draw. Hi, Riri. Hi, Roy. Hey, there's Julie Topaz. Hi, Julie. And so art for me at that time in my life was really kind of put on a back shelf. And when I had my children and they were young, my mom had said, why don't you come out with me on Friday nights? I go to a ceramic class and it'd be a night for you to get out. So there's Kathy Arbour. Hi, Kathy. And who else did I see? Elvis. Hi, Elvis. Debbie Epps. How are you, Debbie? Nice to see you. And so I did. I started to go out on Friday nights with my mom and her girlfriends to a little ceramic studio. And there was a lady there by the name of Betty, and she taught me how to use a liner brush. And of course, I found out later my husband was thinking, oh, great, what are we going to do with all this, horrible stuff she's going to bring home? But he was pleasantly surprised. But I attribute that to this dear lady, Betty. There's Violet, Emilia. Who did I miss? I missed somebody else. Brenda, G3 Brenda. Hello, hello. And so that really kind of started my journey. And my husband and I ended up buying a kiln, and I had some classes. There's Dare. Hi, Dare. Hi, Nashwa. And so that kind of started my art journey. And then I became unemployed in 2013, and we downsized, moved to New Jersey. There's Meri. Hi, Meri. Pam. Hi, Pam. I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss anybody. And I didn't know anything about mixed media art, nothing. I discovered, there's Janet. Hi, Janet. Dee Dee Willingham. We miss you this time around, Dee Dee. Hope you're having a great time with your family. And there started my journey of discovering a lot of art that I knew nothing about. Hi, Martha. Nice to meet you. And there's Judy. Judy, I'm glad you're not broken. Judy had a little spill and she's got some injured ribs, but she's okay. She's sore. And let's see, Little Red Wagon. I don't know. I don't know why I'm thinking Little Red Wagon. I'm thinking Renee, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure I have that right, Little Red. You might have to correct me. Arlene. Hi, Arlene. And so through Dee Dee and then of some other gals that I've discovered on YouTube over these last 10 years, I started to more dive into mixed media. And so I was thinking, really, what is mixed media? Of course, I looked it up, and the dictionary says it's a variety of media in an entertainment or a work of art, aka multimedia. So I'm going to suggest to you this afternoon that if we put anything down on any substrate or surface, if you combine one or two medias, it's a mixed media piece. And, like my sisters are kind of into their own thing. They don't really do mixed media, but you can mix that into other genres and other art forms. My good friend Jean, she's a card maker. She makes beautiful cards. But working with me and hanging out and doing art, hey, Jen Wren, she's starting to discover mixed media, although I'm not sure she would call it that. But you can bring mixed media into almost any genre that you might enjoy. And I was also thinking, sometimes you might see an art form that you'd like to get involved with, and it might cost you a lot of money. So my stream today, I called it, I think, something like mixed media, an art form for any skill level and any budget. Because certainly you can spend as little money as you like to see if it would interest you and something you like to get involved in, or you could really go to the far end of the spectrum and spend a lot more money. So going into 2023, I thought as we're on our daily travels in and out of stores and others people's lives and things come into our lives, things come into our mailboxes, to start keeping our eyes open for things that we can, if you want to jump into mixed media, that you can use. And Glenda, I don't think I've met you, Glenda. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Heather Doodlebug. Oh my gosh, it's been a minute, hasn't it, girl? How are you, Heather? So when I first tuned into Dee Dee Willingham, about, gosh, it's probably been 8 or 9 years ago at least. She had, to me, the best ideas on the planet. I had never seen things like Dee Dee had done. And one thing was this idea. She had several magazines. Now, these are some suggestions. And if you have some ideas and things that you've done in your art, please put them in chat. And if you put it in capital letters, hey, Becca, hi. If you put it in capital letters, Lori Love is here. Oh, Lori, hello. If you put it in capitals, it'll be a little easier for me to pick it up if you need from me to see it specifically. All right, let me say hello to Tina. I see Tina. I think I already got Roseanne and Debbie Riddick. Hello. All right, we've got lots of Debbies, a couple of Dars. So what Dee Dee had done is she had taken several magazines and put them together. She just glued them together, and then she bound the edge. Now, I don't really remember how she bound the edge, but I had some glittery duct tape, and then I used just like clear packing tape, because that's what I had. to put this together. And then I love hydrangeas. So I had found some hydrangeas in a magazine. I don't have a lot of magazines. I don't even remember where I got these magazines. But you can see, I'm now calling this my forgotten journal. Because I think I only did one thing in here. I forgot I had it. But see, this is all inspiration by Dee Dee Willingham. These are images from a coloring book by Juliet Crane. And so this really kind of started my art journey. And I'm telling you what, it's been a fun journey. So then as I continued to watch, some of the girls, particularly Dee Dee, were also doing these kinds of journals where they took a magazine. Now, Dee Dee would take her magazines and cut them this way as too, make different shapes, right? But I decided to do this kind because it was easier. So I just took a magazine and started to fold the pages in half, fold the cover. This is just some scrapbook paper that I liked that I had. Look, I made one for my neighbor. She wasn't too crazy about it. Of course, you have to understand she was, you know, into her 90s at that time. So she gave it back to me. So look at all the ones I have. And I've done a little bit in them here and there, but they're nice to have. And then as you watch other people and you get inspired, you learn other things and get other ideas. So like here, I think it was Kathy Berg. Kathy Berg has a channel, and she had mentioned using, I think, a maybe a composition book when she's doing her jelly plating to roll off her extra paint. Of course, that's a whole new different genre. But see, if you have an old magazine, and say you don't want to work on that great big page, it's a little intimidating, fold it in half, cut it in half, right? You could chop this in half and glue it on top of each other like the other one that I showed you, that larger one. And I got to tell you, once you feel these pages painted, and even if you just spray them with water and they get crinkly, you're going to get hooked. A lot of us in the art world, or folks that are more creative, or even if you're not, but you like to look at art, or you like to watch folks do art, you're drawn in by the tactileness of things. So this one I cut it down a little bit shorter. These I gessoed or put white paint on the pages. And you don't have to have a lot of stuff to get started. And now most of us live in an area where we're close to, I know, don't you love these nails, Jasper? This has turned out to be one of my favorite colors. These are called Red Aspen Nail Dashes. I'm just going to give a quick commercial. You glue them on. They're fabulous. I've had these on for about 4 weeks, no lie. And look, they look like I just went to the salon. All right, I see that Penny Pudge has come in. Hi, Penny. We've got Shelley Aldred is now in. Dawn, hello, Dawn. I don't know if I've got two Roseannes. And Kathy D, I don't want to miss you. I hope I'm not missing anybody. Welcome, welcome to everybody and all who's able to come in. So these are just some ideas. And then as I started to get, look, here's another one. This one I'm doing a wraparound. And this is a travel magazine. The travel magazines have such nice weight. Hey, Marty, nice weight. Lizzie Brewer, girl, hi. They're such a nice weight and beautiful images. And you really could get involved in, oh, Christopher, thank you so kindly. That's wonderful. Oh, thank you so much for supporting me and my channel. I just appreciate that so very much. So you can really fold the pages and really make a spread all by itself, right? So then as I started living here in Jersey, going to the diner, everywhere I went, I would see things that I would think, oh, I wonder if I could use that in my art. Oh, I wonder if I could use that in my art. So I want to encourage you not to discount some of the things that you might run across in your everyday life. Now, these are things that aren't going to cost you a lot of money if you're not already into mixed media and you think you might like to dip your toe into that pool. There's a way to get started without putting a whole lot of investment in supplies. So, of course, now I purchased these crayons. Hi, Vanessa. But this came inside the package. So inside your packaging, look, this would be real simple to get started and have a small mixed media journal, right? When I heard the word journal initially, I thought, writing my soul and all my deepest thoughts into a book, like I'm old, okay? So like for me, it was your diary, I gave up that jazz a long time ago. But when I discovered it was a form of art that I could express myself, use my hands, use different products, I was thrilled. Look, this is a little Stampin' Up! Brochure. I have no idea where I picked this up. But look, how cute is this? You can turn this into a mixed media substrate, right? Got this from my bank. This one opens side to side. These papers that these companies use and some of this stuff is fabulous. Now you might think, oh, isn't that a little too slick? But hey, throw some paint on there. All right. You can go to your dollar store now, and sometimes you can buy like a little wooden gnome that you could hang on a doorknob. And sometimes those things come with little pots of paint if you don't have any acrylic paint. Sometimes you can find deals like our last streamer Jamie was saying. If you run into Walmart or you run into Michael's, you can sometimes find really good deals on some paints if you want to go that route, but you don't have to have paint. I'm suggesting if you use one or more media. Hi Shaz, it's mixed media. So if you put down paper and you glue it down and maybe use a crayon or a pen or a marker, you're mixing your medias and you're creating some art. This was really nice. We had signed up, I guess, for some information on cruises. We had taken a cruise many, many years ago, so I don't think it was from that. But this is a really cool size. It's a little longer than the 5x7. And look, it has little inserts. So these are like little short pages that you could make different art on. Hi, Chris. Nice to see you. This one I got overseas last year in Europe when I was in France. And it's just like a little wish book. Of course, this is all in French. I think this one's in French. Oh, no, maybe I'm lying to you. This one might... Oh, I'm wrong. This is the Amazon one. My French one looks a lot like this. So this is Amazon. If you've got kids, let them look at it and then grab it for your art, okay? All kinds of things. You travel to New York, anywhere you want to go. And I think you could probably write to... Oh, Lori, thank you so much. You're going to make me cry. My little Lori in Montana. Thank you. That's so precious. Thank you, Lori. You can sign up for some of these advertisements, right? And they're really nice substrates to do some art. And then, of course, there's the other end of the spectrum. If you have a little more in your budget, you might want to... well, let me do this one first before I get into the more expensive ones. Many years ago, I was in one of like a department type store, and I love this coloring book, and I love to color. And I was digging through my books, I guess about 2 weeks ago, and I remembered how much I love this coloring book. Now you can see I still have things to do in it. But what about me switching this and changing this book into a mixed media art book? I can glue and paste on top. I could fold pages and make flip outs and do art. I could add material. I could use it as a glue book and just glue stuff in. Hi, Barbara Clark. Did you get some rest? You were up early. So there's all kinds of things you can do. Because I already have got the crayon down, I'm thinking if I add anything else to this, I can consider this mixed media. Huh? Can't I? Riri, thank you so much. You guys are so sweet. Oh my goodness. And then if you go to the other end of the spectrum, I bought this little guy as a planner. I just love green. It's so cute. I like the way it latched. I didn't really use it so much as a planner. I kept some mileage in here, but then I decided I'm going to switch this and start using it for my art. So these pages, I just threw some watercolor on, right? I was otherwise going to give this to Goodwill or just sit it in a drawer until I finally decided, oh, well, it's time to throw that out. I guess I'm not going to use it again. So don't discount some things that you might already have in your possession that you can switch over to mixed media art. Then you can go this route as well. This I purchased because I thought it would be really cool to draw in, but this happens to be a book where the paper was just so rough. So I decided to turn this into, and I'm mostly using this for rice paper kind of images. So where you just glue something down and then you can do it at the same time, or you come back and you can add things to it. You can spatter it. And this is working out good for me because the papers are so heavy. And then if I find something, I think Holly Dalton sent me this. And this is more like a rice paper. So if I find anything that works in this particular journal, Meri, thank you so much. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to thank you all personally because I'm going to be in tears in a minute. Thank you so much. So you can do a lot of different things. See, now for this one, I glued down the rice paper. I stenciled on top of it. I added some shimmer. Doesn't take much. Looks cool. It's fun to do. So, you know, once you get started, you might want to move into something like this. And then, of course, we've got Tim Holtz, and I think one of the girls mentioned Dina Reevely earlier, and a bunch of those folks. Who else? Heidi Swap. They've got a lot of great products that we can take advantage of. And sometimes you can see these on a sale aisle, right? And you can use these for mixed media as well. I don't know that I have any mixed media in this one. I think my Tim Holtz one, my Dilutions one, might have it. I don't know if Dilutions is Tim Holtz. That might be one of the other girls. But there's a lot you can do with those as well. And then just your everyday, and this isn't really the other end of the spectrum. This is kind of middle of the road. A composition book. I'm doing this for my granddaughter. Okay. And just whatever I like. I happen to glue these pages together. You don't have to. But a lot of this stuff is stuff that many of you, if you're really not into art, would have around the house. Now, this just happens to be a fun napkin, but I'm going to show you in a few minutes. Even if you don't have a fun napkin, you can use a napkin to help build a page and do some mixed media, right? So I've pulled some things together. And I'm kind of just going with the vibe of not having a huge budget of supplies. And many years ago, I purchased this little book on card making. Yeah, I made some cards. Cards are fun, but it didn't really hook me like it might hook some other folks. But I've kept this book because it had so many really great ideas in it. And you might have, like, if you've ever watched, I keep referencing back to Dee Dee, but see, she really kind of sparked my journey in art. And she also, through her videos and her live streams, really encouraged me. I mean, I didn't know her from a bag of beans. I know her a little bit now, but I don't really know her well. But through her live streams and her art, she's encouraged me to change my thought about art, that I feel now I can accomplish some things. Andrea, did I say hi to you? I'm not sure. So this book, I just think is a really cool size. And I just thought, well, maybe I'll do something different. This is a cool size, and I thought I might just glue some of these pages together and start doing some mixed media on this type of book. But you know what? I just realized to the side here, you don't really even have to have a book. I forgot I pulled this stuff out. So let me show you this stuff. I love envelopes. I love to make envelope journals. And I was thinking, why not make, hey, there's Jean. Hi, Jean. Why not make a little book with envelopes? Hi, Anne. And use that for mixed media, right? So I worked with these a little earlier, so I'm going to show you what I did. I think a lot of us might have box cards sitting in a drawer. Hey, you know what? Go to your junk drawer. See what you got in there. I'll bet you if you haven't started in mixed media art. Now, I know a lot of us here today are into some kind of an art. But if you are just thinking about jumping in, and I can't encourage you enough, this art community that we have here, a lot of really wonderful people, a lot of great ideas, a lot of great company, a lot of great encouragement. So get into your junk drawer, your nightstand. You know, you might have a box of cards. Sometimes you get stuff in the mail where it's just the envelopes. So I pulled out some envelopes. And let's face it, at the dollar store, you can get a box of envelopes, you know, for a very good price. $1. Sometimes they're 2 for $1. And I should have a third one here. Lori wants to have, yeah, there's 3. So now for me and my taste, I'm just not real crazy about the white look. Random act of God. Yeah, I agree. For me too, really. I don't even remember how I found her. It's just all of a sudden she was there. And then she was like really a big part of my life. But you might not mind the whiteness. So for me, I just mixed up some coffee this morning, some instant coffee, put it in the microwave, and then I came out to my desk to get ready, and I painted my envelopes. And if you're new to all this jazz, it's really all you do. If you don't have a paintbrush, you can dip your envelope into, say, put your coffee solution in a pan and just dip it in and pull it out. You can let it dry naturally. You can put it in your oven. Some of you regulars here, help me remember, what's the name of the lady that bakes all her paper in the oven? Is that Mrs. Cog? Do I have that right? You can put it in your oven, like on 200, and it dries real quickly. If you're in a hurry like Lori is, you can lay it on your counter. Lay it on the, you know, any surface that you have that might work. Just remember there is sugar in coffee. Now you could use tea as well, natural sugar that comes from the bean or whatever. So you want to be careful because this paper can stick, but you could lay it on tin foil. You could lay it on saran wrap, and that right there, putting saran wrap and crinkling it up, it will give you a whole nother look to your envelopes, right? Okay, welcome back, Brenda. So if this is the look that you like, go ahead and treat your paper, your magazine. You can paint this on magazine pages too. Makes them crinkly and interesting and, you know, crunchy. Oh, I just can't tell you how that sound really works for me. So I decided to take 3, and it's really easy. There are other ways to do this. A lot of folks do this a lot of different ways, but I haven't done one in a while. You just slip your envelope. You just slip them inside each other. right? So now I want to be able to also use it as a pocket where I can store little bits of what we call ephemera or fodder, little bits of things that you might like to put on your mixed media page. And you can use your mixed media project for anything. You could do it on cardstock, cut it up and use it as the front of a greeting card. You might hear some of us talk about ATC cards. Um, people trade those, or little circles that they trade and decorate. They're little tiny precious pieces of art. You may be doing a Bible journaling, and you could do mixed media in a small square and add that to the corner page of maybe the inside of your Bible, or on a journal page. Maybe you still do have a diary. Maybe you just want to have a roll of paper that you can just art on just for fun and see what you can create. There's all different things you can do, and a lot of it you can use stuff that you have around the house. So the thing that gets me confused sometimes is where I want to put my glue. So you want to make sure you know where you're going to put your glue. So I want to put it on this flap because I'm going to slide it in. Now I've got this big jug of Elmer's glue off because I do a lot of stuff, okay? You don't have to buy this. Most of us probably still have Elmer's glue sitting around, right? You could use that. You can use a regular glue stick. And for some of us that are a little bit further down the art road, we've got Golden Matte Medium. We've got, what are those other, like your gels? What do they call them? Soft gel meat. Oops, I'm at the end of this one. See, now I'm not going to throw that out. I'm not going to do it now, but I'm a scooper. I'm going to scoop that out and use that. I don't want to throw that away. Should be called the Frugal Craft. Okay, I don't know if I'm missing anything in chat, but I don't see anything in capital letters. So I'm going to assume you're all good. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with glue stick, and I think I'm probably part of the problem because I don't think I apply enough. So you just want to make sure you get a nice amount on there. Now I'm just building a surface. Let me see. I've got plenty of time here, so I'm just going to go for it. So I'm just going to slide that in there, and I'm going to make sure it folds and closes the way I want. And I'm just going to press that down. We're going to go inside here and give this a press. So this is something everybody, I would think in most cases, would have envelopes on hand to do some art. So now I've got that glued down. So now I've got to find a place to put another. I'm going to do 3. Now this could be, good just like this. But I'm going to do 3 because I can. So I'm going to slide this in again. Just make sure it fits in there good. And then I always like to test it. I'm going to put this back on the backhand flap. So what I'm building here really is just a little book that I can then do some mixed media art in. So just want to thank everybody for being here with us today. We've done a lot of planning, and the ladies who are streaming today have taken their time, as Meri would say, time away from our families. But it's all good, right? And planned an art adventure for us. This was when I first started and found Dee Dee, and I guess it was Ustream. They weren't on Ustream long, and they switched over when I found Dee Dee Willingham. And maybe somebody, I have Gail here, and I think Marty is here. Maybe somebody could pop Dee Dee's channel in, would be very nice. And I discovered the New Year's Eve event, and I remember that year Janet Young brought in the new year, as she is going to do again this year. And she was having a mudslide. And I thought, what is this lady gonna do? And then she started to draw. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, hang around till midnight. We've got quite a lineup. You're gonna be happy that you stick around if you can. All right, so the card that goes with this is here. So I thought I might like to have little pages in my little book here to do some art journaling. So I got some book pages. You may have an old Reader's Digest laying around. You might have an old AARP laying around. This was an advertisement book that I got from a paper store. I think I've had this for probably 7 or 8 years. And then I used it to protect in that coloring book so my crayons didn't go on the backs of those other pages. So today I thought, you know what? Why don't I include them? Junk mail. Make sure you make sure you, if you don't catch the live, make sure you come back and watch the replays. Lahr. You don't want to miss Lahr. She does. I don't know what she's doing today, but yeah, I think Ann's on today. Let me check my schedule. Yeah, Ann's on later this evening. Ann does wonderful, wonderful things with basically trash stuff you get in the mail. Huh? So you don't want to miss that. Okay, so now earlier today, if you were with us, you saw Jamie do a pamphlet stitch, and I could certainly do that here. But I have my sewing machine. Oh no, I pushed my sewing machine out of the way. Well, you know what? Let's just go ahead and do a quick pamphlet stitch. So I'm going to pop 3 holes, and I'm going to hopefully grab what I call my pokey tool. Let me take a quick, I feel like I'm a gulper. Quick little sip of my beverage, and I'm looking for my, you know what? I don't see it. I think we all have like favorite tools, all of us that are into this art thing pretty heavy. And I have a favorite little pokey tool, and it goes missing all the time. Now, you could measure this. You know, it's just going to be 3 little holes, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to pop one in the center, right through to the back. This is just a quick little, I don't have a ton of art supplies. You could do this with a kitchen skewer. You know what I'm saying? You could do this with anything sharp. You just don't want to get your fingers, okay? Just keep your fingers clear. If you have a big magazine, like an old phone book or an old catalog, it's better to put your paper down and just poke through that. Now, I have waxed linen that I generally use when I'm doing this kind of a thing. Is Peggy here? I didn't see Peggy come in. Hey, Jamie. Jamie, you did a great job. Love that hat, girl. Woo. And Janet. Hi, Janet Young. Were your ears burning? I was just talking about you. But some of you may have some embroidery thread. A lot of us embroidered when we were kids, right? So you might have some embroidery thread. You might have thread you tie your turkey up with in the kitchen. I've stolen that a couple of times. My husband's like, what'd you do with the kitchen string? Well, I needed it for my art. So, and if you use something that's a little heavier, you don't really even need to put it in a needle. You know, you could poke it through. You could glue the ends if you don't have a needle. You know, and like Jamie said, if you want to start in the center inside, then you need to, and tie it off in the middle. You start in the middle. If you want it hanging out the back, there you go, Anne. Dental floss, excellent. Anything that's going to hold up that you can tie it together with. You could use ribbon. Hey, you don't have to punch holes. You could use an elastic, get a couple of hair ties, right? And just tie those together. Maybe you're into making little bracelets with elastic string, whatever you have. I'm telling you, if you haven't started mixed media and you think you might be interested, hit that junk drawer. I got stuff. I got a junk drawer in the bedroom. I have a beautiful Patricia Nash wallet planner. I think I used it 2 years. I could be bothered to get the current calendar pages. Don't use embroidery floss. I'm just doing this for right now. Why? Tell me why, Ree. This is just for a simple little. Laura. Hello, Laura. Is that Laura Sullivan? Is that Papa Louie on the picture? Laura, we miss you. I hope that's Laura. We miss you, Laura. So I'm just tying this quick to get us going here on something. So say you don't have any paint, right? Most of us have a glue stick. Most of us have some kind of a magazine or advertisements coming into the house, right? Let's see. I'm just going to use this card front because that gives me a little kind of a base. Okay. I'm trying to see if that's... Oh, it is Laura. Hi, Laura. Happy New Year. Lina. Hi, Lina. Lina's going to be on later, much later. She's over in Denmark, so she's taken over some of those early morning hours. Amber. Hi, Amber. Nice to see you. Okay, so I've coffee stained this card that came in the set with these envelopes that I'm using. All right. Now I'm trying to keep in mind that I'm someone who doesn't have a lot of art supplies, and I'm very thankful right now that you cannot see behind me, because you might say to yourself, did you get the number of the truck that dumped all this stuff off? Okay, just saying. Now, you may have noticed I put some dictionary pages in here, so I have the rest of my dictionary pages. This is just a little composition page that I threw some paint on. You might not have that, but you might. Paper. Maybe you have some tissue paper that might have some kind of an image on it. You know, we just came through the holidays. How about some wrapping paper? You got any leftover wrapping paper? Yeah, how about using that? How about a little bit of fabric? You might have some fabric, right? You have a stapler. Pull your stapler out. Do you have some ribbon left over from packaging? A little bit of lace. I'm going to suggest to you the next time you're ready to throw some clothes into a bag for Goodwill, maybe pull a little something out. Snip off some buttons. Cut up the fabric. You can use little bits to create a mixed media page. So what I have here is just a piece of plain napkin. Like some of us have those fancy napkins like I showed you in the one book. Maybe you don't have fancy napkins. Maybe you just go to the grocery store and your napkins are white. Let's just put down some white napkin. Let's see what we can do. Now, the more you listen to some of us folks, the more you will hear we say to tear the edges, because then you don't have a hard line and it kind of blends into what you're doing. I'm not going to use a big piece of this because I don't have a big area. And I'm just going to use my glue stick because that's what I have here. So I'm just going to start putting down some glue. And I'm just going to put that out. Now it's press it down. So the more involved you get, the more videos you're going to be wanting to watch on YouTube, but you can get some other ideas and you're going to start looking at things differently. You're going to start saying to people that you live with, don't be throwing out that tea bag. I'm going to show you a tea bag in a minute. So now I have a little piece of dictionary paper. I'm just, you know what? I'm not really thinking about this. I'm just kind of putting stuff down. Now this is just a regular tea bag. I'm going to use a piece of this. Now, say you don't have any stamps. Say you don't have an ink pad. Say you don't have any stamps or anything like that. But your kids have markers, or your grands. Maybe your grandkids have markers. Let's see. Do I have a marker here? I don't know if this is going to show up. This is a Bible journaling marker. I don't even know if there's any ink left in this. This is probably not. Oh, yeah, it's showing up. I'm just going to scribble some marker on this. If I can pick the dang thing up. Here, let me see. Let me get something. I'll use the back of this is my list for the schedule for the streamathon. I'm just going to scribble some. So maybe you have some marker laying around the house. We're back in that junk drawer. Maybe I like this to be a little more spread out than it is. I'm going to hit it with a little bit of water, see if it does anything. Well, it got all over my hand. So, oh my, now that's wet. What am I going to do now that's wet? Well, you can dry it off immediately. You could sit and wait. If you dry it off immediately, you can go and get your hair dryer out of your closet. I use a heat gun because I do it a lot. But if you're just starting out and you want to find out if you like your mixed media idea, get your hair dryer if you're in a hurry. Did I miss Angie? There's Angie Brown. Happy New Year, Ann. Because you want it dry when you put it down. Now, if you're using a liquid glue like your Elmer's Glue All, or you're using one of your soft gel mediums or something like that, it's going to be wet. That part of it really, I guess, doesn't impact you, or it's not going to matter. And there's Peggy. Hi, Peggy. Happy New Year, everyone. So I'm just going to put that down. And for me, with the mixed media, like overlapping, layering, putting stuff down on top of each other. When I first started doing stuff like this, everything was separate and had its own place. But I now like to layer things and put things on top of each other. Okay, so now we've got that. Now you might have a sewing bin, right, where you have little bits of fabric. I have this little dark colored rose. I have some twine. I've got this little border. Or you might say to yourself, hey, the next time I go to Goodwill, I'm going to take a run through that department and see if they've got a bag of junk. You want a bag of junk? Mixed media. I'm using all different kinds of things. Buttons, love buttons, pieces of lace, pieces of netting. See what else I got here. How about a coloring book? This happens to be an image I just colored a little bit before I started this morning. I made copies out of a Julia Crane coloring book that I have, but I have coloring books here for my grandkids. Maybe you have coloring books for your kids. You can go online if you have a printer and you can find free images that you can print. Is Rosemary here? Did I miss Rosemary? I'm sorry if I missed Rosemary. Hi, Rosemary. Mina, hi. And, you know, you can use an image. So let's cut this out and we'll put this down. Now, you certainly can get more sophisticated, but I think you understand. I'm really kind of talking to anyone who may be new to find our channels today while we're on for so many hours, to try to just give you a glimpse of our art world and things that we like to do that make us happy. And we hang out together, we share ideas, we share different ways to use things. And some of us share where you can get good deals. Some of us are enablers, and some of us are the enabled. I don't know. I think I'm starting to be a member of both categories. I'm going to just pop this flower down. Now, also these days, a lot of our Dollar Trees have really bumped up their selection as far as art supplies and craft supplies. Andrea, I said you can use a glue stick or you can use whatever you have available. Oh my gosh, my screen just said leave the site. You could use Elmer's glue all. Just starting out, you could really use whatever you have on hand. Some of us prefer, and I do too, you know, the golden matte medium, if you get to that point where you want to purchase that product, you know, really works great. Welcome back, Roy. So now, see, I cut the stem off, so I could just do the flower head, I could do the leaves, and then I can redraw the stem. I might just want to wait and see where I want to put that. So I've got that. What else did I pull out here? Oh, here we go. I painted on this paper. Let's see. So if you have any glue sitting around, and you can try different things. Of course, some of us have, you know, fabric glue and things like that. When you go to glue down the different fabrics, hot glue was really very popular many years ago. I use my hot glue gun a lot, but it works for me. Violet said, did someone say glue? I have 2 gallons of Elmer's. Say, we all have different preferences, and you know, you might find that you like a certain product. It works for you. Not that I dislike it, but I really don't use Mod Podge much because for whatever reason where I live, it never really dries. It stays tacky. Judy, hi Judy. Judy O is here. Nice to see you, Judy. Oops, I'm up out of screen. I made room to get my little fleur on. So you might have to take that in consideration where you live. I think my friend Holly, she didn't really have a problem with the Mod Podge, but she lived in Arizona. I think things dried in a nanosecond for her. I'm going to glue that down a little bit more. And I'm going to put my petals on. I was going to wait to put this on. Now, a lot of us love stamps. But I'm trying to think, if you don't have a stamp, okay, for those of you that are in chat and you're seasoned artisans, if you don't have an acrylic stamp, what can we use to stamp an image? So I'm thinking if you don't have a stamp, you may not have an ink pad, right? So if you don't have an ink pad and you want to make, see, I'm thinking I want to make some circles or something on here. Now I'm going to get a Sharpie marker. A lot of us would have a Sharpie marker in our junk drawer. And I'm just going to make myself a little stem here. Make your own foam stamp. Yeah, if you've got any foam that your kids have around, you can cut that out, layer it up, and then you can use that as a stamp. But there again, erasers, great, Violet. You can use an eraser, make a stamp, and use a marker. Chris says, I make rubber stamps with white erasers, and you carve them. That's what Violet, I think, meant, right? I don't usually get to, okay. Roberta said, Mod Podge never dries for me either. Same with some other glues. I end up coating them with DEAKA. Oh gosh, I don't know that word. Chat flew by. The golden matte medium is really good because you don't get any stickage with that. You can use a potato. There you go. You can use a potato. Hi, Joe. Nice to meet you. Food coloring for ink. Have you tried that, Joe? I haven't tried that. Does that work? That's a great idea if that works. But you could really write, I guess you could write across this, just depend. But there again, at your dollar store, I think now you can buy little sets of stamps. Start out small if you're just starting, right? Of course, I got plenty of stuff. So Andrea says until you have ink pads, water-based markers work. Very good. Okay, let's see. Let me see. I wonder if this orange will work. I'm trying to see if I have any other markers. I didn't pull my markers out. Let me see. What's this one back here? All right, so I've got this little tiny dragonfly marker, and you probably can find something like this at a dollar store. Oh, this is a Tombow, so this should work. And I'm just going to, they're saying just paint this. Now let me do a sample. Let me do a sample stamp. Now, I don't know what the open time is for this to dry. Let's just see what kind of an image I get. There you go. Pretty good. So I'm going to do several of these just because I happen to have this sitting right next to me. Now, see, my neighbor, who now is 94, when I would talk to her about my art, when we moved in here, I guess she was about 84, 86, somewhere around there. And she loved making cards. And I would talk to her about different art things that I was doing or that I had learned. Okay, I don't know Fava of 4. Fava of 4. Hello, nice to meet you. Oh, this is not quite dark enough. Let me see if I can get a little bit more. I like to put odd numbers when I'm stamping. Now I picked that glossy card background, so this one's not showing. Let me switch over to the orange one. Let's see if I can get anything to show. Of course, now I'm going to have the brown. She would say, but what is it for? If you do a page like you're saying and you just color or you glue stuff down, what is it for? And I would say to her, it's for my own enjoyment. Now, certainly I can transfer these ideas and make a card. A greeting card. See, I think it's not sticking because I've got that slick surface of that greeting card. I'm going to put one on my little flower. And you're going to find things don't work, and that's okay. Then you'll find something that does work. It's just, I couldn't get her to understand. It's just for the enjoyment of doing it and seeing where your creative mind can take you. For a long time, I didn't use fabric, but I love fabric now. I'm just going to put a piece of fabric here. Now, when Meri was on earlier this morning, she mentioned that someone had gifted her, I think Laura Vasquez, gifted her a tiny attacher. But you might have a stapler in your junk drawer. Your kids might have one for school. Might be a regular stapler. Who cares, right? I'm just going to staple on this piece of fabric. Now, I will say if you can get some Aleene's or some fabric glue, and you want to do stuff with fabric, that's going to serve you a little better. You're not going to have to wait as long. I have a hard time waiting. I can be patient about some things, but I'm not so patient when I'm arting and I'm wanting to get something going. And sometimes that's why I plug in my hot glue gun. Okay, Kim Polton says a meat tray, styrofoam. Yes, you could cut that out and make a stamp for sure. That's a great idea. Cool. I don't know who it was. It might have been Susan Taylor Brown. She does a lot of stitching and she is very oh, what's a good word? Hey, Deb's Crafting Room. Nice to see you. She's very she has a very natural, organic, that's the word I'm looking for, organic look in her stitching and the fabrics that she uses. Hi, Myriam. Myriam's going to be with us later. Yes, thank you, Gail. Organic. That's what I was trying to think of. And I think it might have been her that was using threads. This is just, a thread. If I'm pulling out lace, I've got a whole tub. I don't know where I put it. I didn't look for that today. Of threads now that I'm saving threads. If you told me that I would start saving little bits of threads, I would have told you you're crazy. But see, if I put that on there, it's just a little piece of fabric and a little bit of thread. I mean, really, come on. How cute is that? So if you can get yourself a stamp pad and a couple little rubber stamps. Now, I really like, I think I'm going to turn my glue gun on just for the sake of being a little more convenient. See, now I had this. See, there, she has a jar of thread. There's Shannon. How you doing, Shannon? I know you've been under the weather. I had this for something else I decided not to use. I was building a little journal and this was a little too long. I snipped it off. See, I don't throw any of this jazz away, guys. I keep all that stuff. So see, now I'm going to attach it like that, I think. Now I'm going to move this around a little bit because I want my threads to show. And see, it's just a little organic. Lizzie said she has a quart of threads. See, that never occurred to me until like maybe, I don't know, 6 months ago. And I share sometimes in my stream, my husband will say, what are we saving this week? Like with the tea bags. As soon as my tea bags get low, I have them start to save the tea bags because they're fabulous. The tea bags are fabulous to stamp on. Now, I didn't do so good with my stamping here of my, let's stamp on this tea bag. See if I can get a better image. You can paint on these acrylic paint. Maybe you have some watercolors. I know this is a little too small to do my double. I could get a bigger piece. I think it's at Walmart. You can get a halfway decent little set of watercolors for like $6. Okay, Marty, it's not like you're doing serious gallery style art where you have to be worried about things fading and things being, what's that word they use? Gail, help me out. archival. That's not the word. Is that the word, Gil? You know, where it's going to last 100 years and, you know, it's not going to fade. When you do mixed media art, I think for most of us, they're not really worried about that, right? Light fast. Thank you, Janet. Janet Young covered me on that one. Let's see. I don't want to miss. Somebody said, I think I missed something. Lizzie said, Lori, before you finish up here, please remind me of the brand of your nails, please. Oh, Red Aspen. Lizzie, I can send you the information. My sister sells these. Red Aspen, they're called nail dashes, like dash away, like Santa would say. Nail dashes. And I think somebody else had. Dare said, my husband saves me tea bags and I iron them. Oh, that's a clever idea. I did caution the other day, Barbara Chicken Pot Pie. I haven't seen Barbara. I don't know if she's in here. She had said you can save the tea leaves too, you know, for like making, if you make your own paper. And so I thought, hey, you know, I'll have some of that around. I can put that in a little jar. And I really thought my tea leaves were dry, but they weren't. They got all moldy. So make sure if you do that, you're really drying out your tea leaves. So Bootsy, oh, Roy is 3/4 of the way to 100. Congratulations, Roy. That's a great accomplishment. My neighbor's only, what is she? She's only 6 years away. I think it was before Lizzie. Maybe I imagined. Oh, here we go. Arlene said she has a thread jar, and when it gets full, she uses the content. She uses the contents for stuffing little ornaments. See what I'm saying? If any of you are newbies, I'm telling you what, you're going to get a lot of great ideas from the folks in this community. All right, so I made this little bow. I think I'm going to add that somewhere. So now I distracted myself long enough. I'm going to go back to this stamp. Jamie said, I don't think bugs like tea. And Roberta said you can use dried coffee grounds and tea leaves to add texture to your texture paste. There you go. Yes, you can. Lots of great ideas. You got that right, Janet. All right, so I'm going to color on this and stamp on this tea bag. Now, I have crumpled up tea bags too. Added a little glue. I almost said goo. Add a little glue and use them to make little roses. Yeah, I'm not getting good. I think maybe my Tombo's a little dried out. Might be a little dry. A little dry. Not seeing that. If I put Sharpie marker on here, would Sharpie work on here, guys? That won't ruin my stamp, right? Because it's just ink. It might forever be black. Malia says, I have decided to repeat level 29 again. Not sure I'm catching on to that. Raoul, did I see you come in? I'm not sure if I saw you come in. Hello, hello, if I missed you. There were so many people coming in at the beginning. It's like being at the Cracker Barrel when the bus gets there. All right, Jacqueline. I don't think I said hi to Jacqueline. Is Jacqueline Fava a 4? Yeah, I don't know, for whatever reason that's not working for me. All right, I'm going to get out a little ink pad because I do have ink pads. So I just want you to see how delightful it is to stamp on these tea bags. Woo, 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 woo. Love it. Oops. Whoops. Whoopsie. Wrong lid. Okay, then I was going to use a little bit of this Okay, Raul says, I'm late because I just finished dinner. Raul is in Barcelona, Spain, and he made some yummy sounding soup for the new year. And he and his wife were going to do a jigsaw puzzle. I don't know what you're talking about levels, but I guess I don't need to. All right, so I have this tissue paper that's got all these different little bee buggy images. So I'm going to take this half a bee. Half a bee, to be or not to be. Let's see what we can do with this. Maybe, I wonder if my heat gun's hot enough yet. I think I'm going to put that little, so I think I'm going to use this on this piece. It's like a little, oh, what would you call that? I think Jamie used a term that you would call this little, she had something she was using, where you glue all different kinds of stuff. I don't know. There's a name for everything. And once you start streaming, hey, there's Dana. Hi, Dana. Thank you, Dana. Gluing all kinds of stuff on here. Now, see, I did a straight edge on that that bee. I'm not so sure I like him. I guess he could be going this way. You don't always have to go right side up. You don't have to always. There's really no rules, right? You can do what you want. Now, I was in a group for many years, a co-op where I'd had some craft items to sell. All right, Devon's here and she gonna be a lurking. Very good. When you start streaming, words fall from your brain. Yes, Jamie, for real. And so I was with this group and we had an event. The owner wanted to do something. I forget what she asked me if I would paint, and I was painting, I think I was painting rocks. I don't remember. I was painting something. People would rent a booth. You know, I rented my little booth. I was there for many years. And we had an event, try to bring people in and make them aware of our little shop. And I don't know if I really like the bee, but I could add it on. Maybe I could tuck it under here. Maybe I could tuck it. And I had a lot of different things in my booth. Like Rebecca was saying when she was on earlier, Create with Rebecca. She likes to do a lot of different stuff. And I think there's a lot of us like that. Raul was saying in one of my live streams, you know, that his problem, not that his problem, I don't know how he worded it, but something like you had to be just in one genre. And some of the gals in chat said, well, why do you have to do that? I think in some cases it's probably better for your channel. But I like to do too many things. And so I had a lot of things on my booth. I'd painted rocks, I had journals, I had watercolor paintings, I had I didn't want to overlap. We weren't allowed to overlap with other vendors, so I didn't have any ceramic stuff. But I had scrapbooking type things, and you know, just a bunch of different stuff. And this lady came up and started to speak with me, and she was sharing that many years ago, she did a lot of artsy stuff and really enjoyed it. But in recent years, she had been diagnosed with some kind of an illness that left her unable to really use a pen to be able to write. Is that Ellen? Ellen QP? You made it. Hi, QP. I hope you weren't having a struggle getting in. Nice to see you. I'm glad you made it. She couldn't really cut anymore. She couldn't draw or really write. She had a hard time answering the phone because her hands were very shaky. And so a thought came to my head, and I like to credit God for those kinds of thoughts. But why couldn't she do a glue book or some kind of mixed media and just tear? So I suggested she go to her dollar store, hey, there's Lady Jan, True North. Hi, nice to see you. Get a composition book. And when she could, pick up a couple of magazines or a catalog, find some images that she liked and get a glue stick and just start ripping and tearing and building. Now I know Stephanie G, she's coming on after me. She does stuff with gluing and glue sticks and stuff. I don't know what she has planned for us today. Or maybe I do know, but I forgot. It doesn't matter. Try to think outside the box. So, I never saw this lady again, but I hope that she was able to find her joy in art again, even aside from her, inability to use a pair of scissors. She said she could hold a glue stick. She would have to take, breaks or whatever, but, you know, she really enjoyed it. So we had a nice little chat. So don't think you have to do things traditionally, right? So I need something down here. And I didn't pull out a whole lot of stuff. I was trying to think of things that maybe, I got tons of stuff laying around, but. And Joe says she gets bored. I'm assuming a she because it's just J-O. I get bored if I stick to the same thing too long. Right. I love the challenge of new mediums. Absolutely. That doesn't work for everybody. Hi, Leslie. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. Yeah, I hope she did too, Janet. I think she really. Now, see, I encouraged my neighbor to do that because she's not really making cards anymore. She's got some, as you get older and things start, wearing out. And Myriam says, Lori, I have an illness. At first, my mind and my hands wasn't aligning. They weren't aligned. Couldn't write, draw, or do anything with your hands properly. Oh, Myriam. Yeah, that's hard. We want to keep our Lina in our thoughts too, because Lina's struggling with some arthritis. It's quite severe. And, but there may be things that Lina will discover going forward, but she's got to rest those hands and try to get some healing going on for her hands. Lina's going to be with us later. You do not want to miss Lina. If you can be awake, don't miss Lina because she's going to be showing us some of her art. She's got such a mind for art. She is so creative, and she's really just a delight to listen to and be with. Okay, so let's see where else. All right, so I still have a little bit of time left. So let me find something for here. Oh, I was going to get out, I think. Let me get out. I think I need some kind of. Now this is, this is advanced art here. I think I'm going to get, what is Lina's link? One of my mods maybe can put that in. She's Miss Lennox, and I think that's the software, right? There it is. Thank you, Kimberly. 2010. You have to check out some of the stuff. Some of it's trouble. Yeah, eyesight. Yeah, see, it's all is a concern. But you could run crayon around the edge here. You could do a little border. Let's do a little border. I'm going to use my Sharpie marker. And I'm just following along the pattern kind of the card that I use as the base here. I'm not going to do it all the way around. I'm going to sneak. See, a lot of us, and I include myself in this group, a lot of us are good copiers. I'm a pretty good copier. And I don't mean tracing, but I mean ideas or whatever. You know, you see something, you can put your own spin on it. But you know what? It's a very rare occasion when Lori comes up with an idea. And that Peggy has said many times, and I agree with Peggy too, there's really nothing new under the sun. You see something, you put your own spin on it, right? Okay, Gail. Gail's going to go get some more tea. But there are people that even when they put their spin on it, it's like, wow. And Lina, to me, is one of those people. Kathy Arbour said one time, just love the way her mind works and the way she sees things, you know? So if you can, now for those of us who are going, well, the whole streamathon is Eastern Standard Time. So depending on where you are, Lina is going to be on at 3 in the morning this morning, tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, 3 a.m. You will? Oh, I'm in August, baby, too, Barbara. Have we talked about that before? Barbara said she's finding that the older she gets, the more grateful she gets. And she'll be 80 in August. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, I can't pronounce those words. Roy's saying his grandson was, I guess, somewhere in Spain at some event. Judy says glaucoma. It's controlled with eye drops, and it affects her left eye. Chad just kind of scooted by. Yeah. So sometimes, if you can just kind of think outside the box. I'm going to pull out a little bit of. Let's see if I can put my hands on it. If I can, because of the slickness of this greeting card, because I didn't put any paint or gesso on it, I just stained it with some tea. It's really kind of slick. Jasper said, just want to say how awesome. You're really relatable to newbies looking to craft. Thank you, Jasper. You remember feeling lost? Oh, well, I'm glad you don't feel that way anymore and you're able to interact with us because that's fun. Actually, I was gonna do this thing. I was gonna sing a song and say at a certain time. Well, I'll just do it, okay? I mean, this little ditty, in line with the tune. Now, a lot of you here don't know me, and sometimes I get a word in my head and I just like want to sing something. So I was thinking I could sing. Come out wherever you are, and meet the old lady who arts from afar. Now, I didn't say farts, I said arts. She arts from afar, she arts from afar. Jersey, she said, is the name of her star. Jersey, she said, is the name of her star. So just pop in. If you're new here and you want to just say hi, you don't really feel like chatting, just say hi. Let us know you're here. So that was the tune, if you couldn't pick it up, from oh my gosh, now that went out of my head. The Wizard of Oz. I have that song in my head a lot. I don't know why. All right, so I put my white paint. Where did I put my white paint? I did straighten up my area a bit, you see. I'm going to reach. Oh, let me grab some black paint. The drops are great. My sister had surgery and she doesn't use the drops anymore. Oh, no. Yeah, my neighbor still uses the drops. All right, I mixed this up yesterday, so it should be good. I'm going to just get a little flat shader, I believe. Sometimes you can really luck into some art supplies at your local thrift store. So my husband a lot of times will say, "You're going to give that to Goodwill," and I'm like, "Well, you don't know what number one, you don't know what people are looking for, and you never know what people might be able to use. You know, maybe you just need a little bit. You don't always need a lot of any one thing, right, girls? Unless we're talking, and I should say, ladies and gentlemen, because we've got a couple of boys in the house. But like, unless you're talking about buttons, you know, you really don't need a whole lot, a whole lot of one thing. Lori's got a real love for buttons. I just love me some buttons. I will put this plug in. I'm hoping to get together with Miss Caroline, and I don't know her name and her channel name, and I should, but I don't. To talk buttons, but I'll keep you posted on that. Keep an eye on my community tab. We're hoping to get together. Now, she says she's not an expert, but she's certainly more of an expert than I am. And her mom was a collector for many years. So see, there's a lot going on with the channels of our streamers. I think of Aunt Beck. Hey, Mary Lou. Hello, Mary Lou. Goodbye, heart. Who remembers that song? Sweet Mary Lou. Has anybody seen Barbara Chicken Pot Pie? I miss her. I hope she's probably got company. There's Candy. Hi, Candy. Did I miss you? I hope I didn't miss her. And I see, hi, Becky. Is Aunt Beck here? Aunt Beck, she's always baking or cooking something, showing us what she's doing, making pies, sewing and stitching, stitching and sewing. Sing it, Lori. Lizzie, I have got to say, oh gosh, I hope I don't get all teary-eyed. Maybe I shouldn't say this. I was watching one time and you and Papa, it was a Sunday, and you and Papa were singing. Oh, Lizzie, brought me to tears. It was so delightful. Thank you for that. And there's Miss Sandra. Hi, Sandra. How are you today? Happy New Year. I hope you're doing well. So I'm just putting this little border. Now, see, you could do this with, really, if you didn't pick this slick card, and maybe if I used a crayon would work. I don't really know. See, a lot of times, like I'm not an expert. Okay, kids, I'm like self-taught, and a lot of times you just have to try it and see how it works. Now, Debbie Epps, she knows what she's doing because she's educated. Kathy Arbour, she went to school, and I didn't know, but Meri said she went to the art school. And so I don't know, a lot of stuff you have to just kind of try. But I don't even think I'm going to get out the white paint because, see, I had the white behind it from the card, and I used the acrylic paint because, of course, I have it. And but you might be able to have just used a crayon or a marker there if you wanted to make some kind of a border. Okay, so I think that kind of helps that page. All right, so now let's see. I'm done at 2:30, so I've got about a half an hour. So I know, 120 people in chat. That's amazing. So here's the deal. I don't think this will cost too much to send anywhere and everywhere, right? Okay, so Lady True North is catching up. Drying papers, Mrs. Cobb. Yuck, Mrs. Cog. Okay, great. Oh, I think I did. I think I have watched Mike Deacon a couple of times. 200 degrees, put the sheets in the oven, and yeah, they get nice and crunchy. So I was thinking I would give this away. Of course, it's just got the one page done. You could certainly add to it. But here's what I want you to do. If you would like to be in the drawing for this here little number, this here little book, and if an international wins, to try to not make it too heavy. I might not be able to stick too many. Hey, Zena, too many extra goodies inside. Leave me a comment on this live and have your comment in by 3 p.m. Monday Eastern time, because I will be streaming Monday evening at 6 Eastern, and we'll draw the winner. We'll draw the winner chicken dinner. All right. So that's what I was going to do. So let's see. See, Jamie said she didn't have a backup this year. I should have had a backup. But you can always just continue to add, right? That means you need to come back to the recording show and comment here. Yes, comments in on the video, Roberta, after it uploads, after my stream today. I don't know how long. It usually doesn't take too terribly long. And then you have from today until Monday afternoon Eastern time. Sign the page. Really, Brenda? I could do that. So let's see. Now, I also have something called Stella, which I don't know if a lot of you know about that product, but I just love Stella. It's like shimmer in a pen. I think I'm going to put some Stella, and I think I want to outline the doodle. Don't forget to doodle. Devon, I know you're lurking, but I forgot doodle. You can doodle on your mixed media pages, right? And some of us are better doodlers than others. Oh, there's the white paint. But I'm going to use a Sharpie pen, I think. Let's see how this looks. Now, again, this is different than a marker. It's a very, very fine tip. I don't know if my... It just depends on what kind of doodling you like. But see, I've got this. This might not work. Oh, yeah, it didn't smear because it's so slick. Doodling is always, just like they say, Paris is always a great idea. So is doodling. You know what? I think I'm going to have to get, I should have picked a different page, or I should have put gesso down. If you don't have gesso, if you're new to the art world, you don't know what gesso is, it's a medium that you can get it in black, you can get it in white, you can get it in clear, and it just treats your surface so you have what they call more tooth, a little more grip, and it takes away the slippiness. Of course, I could have sanded this down a little bit too. So let's see. I have clear on a clear day. Rise and look around you. Hear the little shaky ball? On a clear day. Yes, gesso and even the paint, right? I think will kill your oh, wait a minute. Is this clear, or is this, no, it says clear. It looks clear. I'm just going to put a little shimmer on these petals. I don't think you'll be able to see this. And then I'm thinking, shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Puffs. See that? That marker is moving a little bit, and I got marker on my Winker Stella. Okay, Artie Dar is on her way out for a little bit. She's going to be back later. If I don't see you, Artie Dar, Happy New Year. Yeah, don't use felt tip pens on it. Oh, okay, Roy. This is This is another, I saw a video. I think the lady's name was Patio Pat or Patio. Anyway, she was covering bangles and baskets and all different things with napkins. So this is a napkin, one of my favorite napkins. And so I painted, it's a wooden bracelet blank, I think they call them. And so I painted the inside that matched and put the napkin on and then painted it with, I think I used triple thick. So it stays on there and it gives it a little bit of a shine. Now I also did one, I think that one's in my bedroom, where I did one with, thank you guys, thanks. Had a nice African scene with like giraffes and different animals, and I cut all the little strips. The napkin is easy to put on, and then you put saran wrap on it. You can get it on real nice and tight. But the African themed paper I had was scrapbook paper, so like a cardstock type weight. So I cut all little strips, and that one turned out cool too. But I've got a couple different ones like this. I've got a hydrangea one. I've got one that I stamped and then doodled on. Speaking of doodling, I didn't get back to my doodles. Wait a minute. I should get back to the doodles. But if you can get yourself, you know, like a bracelet blank, these are fun to do. And then I had some on elastic. They look like little chiclets all together. But this is the doodle one. I stamped some stuff and then doodled. This one's didn't turn it out as well, you know, as this one. But they're fun. If you had a group of, now this is a plastic blank. Now this one is a little duller. You'll see it because I don't have the triple thick on it. Triple thick is, it's a little dicey to use. You have to get it on just right, you know, or it runs or it clumps. So there's a learning curve with that. I don't know if I, oh, here's one. You can get these online. This one's, of course, not finished. But see, you can get them on elastic. But you can see this is just the flat paint. And then on this side, I've got, see, even there, you can see the difference where I put the, I don't think this was triple thick. I think this was just like a paint sealer, you know, that you could paint on. I think that's all I have. And then I did one, I think I gave that one to Goodwill, where I put lace on it. I glued lace on this kind, you know, painted it the color I wanted it, and then put lace on. And that was, it looked cool, but I didn't get it great on the edges, so it was a little uncomfortable to wear. But it might not have bothered everybody. It bothered me, so I didn't keep it. Napkins, I know, right, darling? I mean, really, napkins. That's another. Well, my list is really long, okay? Napkins, yarn, buttons. Yeah. Okay, doodling. I was going to get a, how am I on time? Oh, I still have a few minutes. So if any of my mods are still here, if you could start popping in Stephanie G's channel so people know where to go. Stephanie G will be up next. And I'm going to pop in there and I will be typing this in, but I just want to mention it to you all that are here. When you pop on over to Stephanie's, some of us, and I did the same thing today, because we've had such a problem with bots coming in, and there's such horrible things that the bots come in and put in your chat. Some of us have chosen to customize and therefore you have to sub and be a sub for at least, and you can pick a time. So Stephanie, and I do the 5 minutes too. Stephanie's doing 5 minutes today. So don't be discouraged. You'll be able to chat. Certainly you'll be able to listen, but you know, you want to sub if you can sub, and you don't have to click the all notification. You know, sometimes the dings might drive you crazy if somebody's very active, but you could still sub and support the channel. And then if you're really interested, of course, hit the bell, you know. Like, I think Becca was singing, I always sing this too, you can ring my bell, because I'm a Philadelphia Phillies fan. And when the Phillies hit a home run out of the park, we've got the great big Liberty Bell that swings in the park, and it makes the ding ding noise. And I sit in my chair, in my comfy chair, watching the ball game, singing to the top of my lungs, you can ring my bell. So you can ring the bells, okay? All right, so I'm distracting myself. See if I can get a Sharpie marker, not Sharpie, Posca pen that's gonna work. Bad link? The link isn't working? Okay, let me, oh my goodness, no, we need the link to work. Here we go. Hold on, I will put it in, because we don't want this to happen. All systems are going, running smooth. Let me see. Let me get where she is here on my list. I did the tiny URL. All right, I'm going to go out. Just everybody sing along for a minute. You can ring my bell. Ring my bell, ring my bell. You can ring my bell. I'm opening up my document so I can grab Steffi's link, because I checked them all. They were working, so I don't know what has gone awry. But let me grab it here. And then I'll give it a little, then we can give it a little test. A little test before I head out. Okay, copy. Minimize. Let me come back to StreamYard. Okay, let's see. All right, try that one for me, guys, and see if that one will work. It works in the description box. Thank you so much, Carol. The link in my list is working. Okay. Well, hey, Kathleen, that's a good point. If she's not there and she's not ready, well, she's not ready to go yet. She's up at 2:30. It works in the info box below in my description box. Okay, wonderful. All right. Okay, cool. All right. So let's see. Let's see if I can get, let me see if I can get my doodle on here. It's okay, Gail. No problem. It could have been, I've been cutting and pasting and doing a, you know, some administrative stuff. So it could very well be, I was trying to condense the font size, and that threw everything cattywampus. So I was messing around with stuff earlier. So it could very well be that something got messed up. So we just want to make sure we can all get to Stephanie's. Arlene already went over and said hi. Okay, great. Wonderful. All right. So keep that in mind. If you're a newbie and you can't get into chat, you know, no worries. Just give us 5 minutes. It just helps keep our channels clear of bots. All right. So these are some of the little dragonfly stamp that I did earlier. And every time I use the dragonfly, I think of my dear friend Holly. So, and then if you put something on, like, you know, you've cut out a little image from a coloring book, you can go back in. Michelle Scott, hello, hello. It's nice to see you. Thanks for coming in. You can put little dots, you know, on the side of your little leaf. See, I covered up that little leaf, but don't feel bad about that. Don't feel bad about covering up stuff. I'm still working on giving myself the right to cut things apart, you know. Like if I buy a black and white photo, say from Keisha's Creations virtual market, say I buy a black and white photo. I have a hard time, if I want to use that photo in a mixed media piece, I have a hard time cutting it. But I really, really need to start doing that. Oh my gosh, Barbara, I miss her so much. I can't talk about it. But anyway, so don't be afraid to do that. You know, take things apart, dismantle them, put them on different areas of your page. And little hearts are good, right? Little hearts. And I've talked a couple of times about Tamara Laporte. Oh my gosh, her doodles are top drawer, as they would say. Top drawer. She does stars and hearts and little flowers. Okay, Devon's back. Oh, look, I almost made through a total stream without my phone ringing, and it just now rung. And I know, I'm taking bets. Who do you think it is? You think it's my son? Thank you, Judy. All right, so it's a little after 2. And again, I'm thinking, what do you do in New Year's? My daughter and her, I shouldn't say I should say our daughter. I always do that. That's, oh, thank you, Diane. Our daughter and her family, my 2 grands, I have a 7-year-old granddaughter and a 4-year-old grandson are coming, and they're going to stay over. And we're going to have snacks and probably play games. And I can just hear my little, oh, thank you, Candy. I can hear my little 4-year-old grandson saying, "Amma, can we do crafts?" So we'll see. We'll see what we get up to. But we should have a fun bringing in the new year. And then tomorrow I will be wearing an earbud probably most of the day and chatting as I can, because I got my whole family coming for New Year's dinner. Becca was saying they do, what'd she call it? Canadal and sauerkraut, which is a potato dumpling, I think she said, which sounds totally delightful to me. My family always did pork and sauerkraut, mashed potatoes. And my mom always told us it's good luck to have a little sauerkraut on New Year's Day to bring in the good year. Okay, let's see. Myriam says, I say bye because need to talk with grandsons by WhatsApp. Oh, yeah, that's how I talk to my my bonus son. WhatsApp. Yeah, that's good. My son and I used that when we were in Europe last year too. Worked out well for us. The WhatsApp app. Yeah. All right. So I guess I can let you go. I can stay here and chat, but maybe some of you want to get a beverage or a snack, or maybe it's time for you to eat a little something, something, and then get back to your comfy chair or wherever and see what Stephanie has up for us. And then after Stephanie, Art Junkie will be up. That's Shannon. And then after Shannon, Kathy Arbour. Kathy is in, I'm not sure where Shannon is, but she's in the States, I believe. And then, yes, intermission time. So if you got to scoot, go ahead and scoot. I'll just hang around here in case Steffi needs a few minutes to get her channel open and get ready. And then we've got Kathy Arbour, who is in Canada. And then after Kathy, we've got Shelley, Crafting Mamas. Shelley used to be in Hawaii, and she is now in North Carolina, but Shelley's working today. So she'll be joining us. And then after that, we've got Lahr. Don't want to miss Lahr. Lahr, not only is she creative and got a lot of great ideas and does a lot of really cool stuff, Lahr is a hoot. She's a hoot and a half. I love listening to Ann. So you don't want to miss these girls. You don't want to miss them. And then, of course, we've got Janet Young. I'm going to just do a commercial here while we've got some time. We've got Janet Young bringing in the new year for us. And that is always a good time. Janet is also a hoot. Oh, you are in Canada. Shannon's. Oh, okay, Shannon. I was thinking you were in the States. All right, so we've got 2 Canadian girls today. I know we've got Devon is in Canada tomorrow. I think she's the only Canadian tomorrow. And then in the wee hours, oh, sorry. Yes, Brenda dear. I don't like my signature. Even with my my color pencil work now, I'm thinking, I don't really want to finish anything because I got a lousy signature. I'll put the date down here. Oh my goodness. Can you even believe? Oops, I'm off the page. December 31st. Where did it go, huh? All right, so then I want to give these girls a shout out too, because we've got Amazon Tammy, 1:30 in the morning. And then we've got Lina at 3. We've got Myriam. Now you can see in my description box below, you can see all of these gals and the links. My community page also has them. I think Meri's does. Probably a lot of the streamers do. And then if you're part of Fibsdiggity, I know Arlena's posted it several times. You could probably find it on Instagram as well. So then we've got Artcurious. That's a cute name, right? Artcurious. Myriam at 4:30, and then our dear Janet Nash at 6:30, who is in the UK. These are all Eastern, and of course these are AM hours. Oh, I forgot Carol. Carol's a Canadian. We got 2 Canadians tomorrow. We've got the Canadian artist Carol. She will be up at 8:30 a.m. And then we've got Devon Rex, 10:30. I'm telling you, this lineup is great. Come on, come on. You don't want to miss. And then we've got Vanessa. And Vanessa is teaming up with Simply Becca Lynn. Becca Lynn's channel looks really cool. Haven't had a chance to really look at anything, but those gals, I'm sure, will have a good time. And then we're going to do Serenity Studio, and that's SerenityStudioArt, and that's Diana. She's a lot of fun and usually a lot of activity and lots going on, so you don't want to miss her. And then we've got BethSchuler, and Beth is teaming up with Dana, ScrappyGirl, and that'll be fun. And then I'm hoping that some of the streamers can come in and we can just chat a little bit and wrap things up Sunday evening at 6 p.m. Okay, so everybody's scooting out. So Steffi should be ready in a few minutes. Let's see, what do I got here? I still have like 10 minutes. Have notification from Stephanie. Let me just check and see if all is well here. Okay. I think that's old stuff. So I don't see anything new from Stephanie. So I don't want to pop over there so I don't have reverb and stuff. I've got you on the list, Raul. We'll see how it goes. But you can see it's so much fun. And it's a packed house. It's a packed house. So, and you really kind of do need an hour and a half or 2 hours to get anything done. So we'll just see what happens in the year to come, right? And I've got you on the list. I've got Jasper and Raul on the list are interested for next time. So we'll just see what we can do. Try to accommodate as many streamers as we can. All right, so I'm going to take a little bit of a break and get a drink. I'm going to put an earbud in now, but I promised Stephanie I'm going to be in there. So I'll be in a few minutes. I won't be there right at the outset because I've got to go to the loo and I've got to replenish my drink. And I think we still have a few things to do before the kids arrive. So thank you, Gail. Thanks to my mods for taking care of my guests, which is wonderful. Okay, nap time for Jamie. Happy New Year, Jamie. Thanks so much. Your stream was great. Loving that hat. Oh, thank you, Anne. Oh, you're welcome, Carol. Just hanging out here to Kimberly Ray. Happy New Year to you. Have you been here, Kimberly, and I missed you? I'm so sorry if I missed you. It was so hard to catch everybody. Thank you, Carol. Any laggers? You need the link. It's in the description box. Okay, Shaz is going to take a nap. It was nice to meet you. Oh, you're welcome, Shannon. Shannon, I hope you're feeling better, honey. All right. Gosh, I feel like I'm watching the ball drop, waiting for that clock to start counting down. It still says there's quite a few people in here. Oh no, do we need a second bus? Are we running to? You're much better. Oh, wonderful. That's good. I don't know. See, I use my computer because that's what I'm used to. I don't know how the girls do it on a phone or a tablet. You're welcome, Martha, because for me, I like seeing what you're all seeing. Yes, the New York ball. 10, 9, 8. That's what I'm watching the clock till Stephanie's time and watching the number going down for folks getting out of here and getting over there. I feel like I can relax now. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Stephanie's having trouble with her camera, so she ended to start again. Oh my gosh. She's already a little nervous. Oh. She's Stephanie G. Jasper. It's Stephanie G. I think there's a space and a period. It might be an underline. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up on my phone and I can show you. Here we go. Is that, can you see that, Jasper? Yeah, it's her first streamathon, but she streams. It's her first time to be in the streamathon. If there's a Stephanie_G. It keeps wanting to open my browser, which is not normal. Huh. And it says, did you get it, Jasper? It says, the girls or the folks in chat earlier said her link worked. So you're there? Okay, Raoul, great. Is she in? I should pull her up on my phone. See if I can find her that way. Okay, mine still says coming up. Okay, that's the one she probably ended. And yeah, she was on last night and everything was working fine. She wasn't having any issues. So I'm still on. So that's me. Oh, that looked good. Now I got desserts coming up. I am in her channel waiting for the New Year's Eve stream, and I'm here also. You think the link is no more valid? No, that shouldn't have anything to do with it. It's the link is her channel. So whether she goes on, yeah, you just have to wait for her to come back in. Yeah, there's no longer a live because she went out and she's going to come back in. So we just need to give her a few minutes. But the link is not for the actual, I don't know how to describe it. It's for her channel. So the link will take you to her channel. And then once she gets in, you'll see the live. And then when you hit that, you should be able to get in. So just give her a few minutes. And then we'll have to really make her feel better. She had to switch over her camera. The stream that is up is the one that she ended. Okay, thank you, Michelle. That's very helpful. She's live now, Sherry. Oh, thank you, Sherry. Okay, then I'm going to scoot, okay, because I want to be able to get in there and support her. All right, guys, thanks so much. Head on over to Stephanie's. Sounds like everything's up and running. Thank you so much. Don't forget, take time to be creative, and I'll see you soon. Happy New Year.